Hey guys, this is Katrina with Carry Out Mama, and I'm here with 6 things you've always wanted to know about intermittent fasting. So you want to know more? Listen and stay tuned. Number 1, what in the world is intermittent fasting? What is it? You've heard it, people say it, they do it, but you have no clue what it is. Some people call it IF. Intermittent fasting is very, very simple. It's basically where you eat one time of the day and you don't eat another time of the day. Now, let's not get this confused. It is not starving yourself, okay? You are not just never eating. You have to eat when you intermittent fast, but let's talk about what that looks like. So, for intermittent fasting, you may eat 12 hours out of the day and you may not eat for another 12 hours out of the day. That is one form of intermittent fasting. We all fast. We usually do it while we're sleeping though. Most people don't wake up in the middle of the night. Some people do. Most people don't wake up in the middle of the night every 2 to 3 hours and eat. Okay, so when you are not eating, when you're sleeping and your body is not consuming any food, that is called a fasted state. Hence the word break fast. You wake up in the morning and break your fast with a breakfast meal. So that's where the term breakfast came from. However, intermittent fasting takes that just one step further. So instead of eating breakfast, you may wait to eat until lunchtime. So you may stop eating at 8 p.m. and come 8 a.m. you don't eat breakfast, but maybe you eat lunch at 11 a.m. So 8 to 8 is a 12-hour fast. And then we extend that 9, 10, 11 by 3 more hours. And that makes your fast a total of 15 hours. So fasting is simply eating one period of the day and not eating another period of the day. That looks different for different people. Some people like to fast during the day. Some people like to keep their fast simply at night because it's easier to sleep through your fast. So it just really just depends on what works for you. So that is the basics of what is intermittent fasting. Now, the second point that people want to know is how often do you intermittent fast? Some people do it once or twice out of the week. Some people do it once a week. Some people do it 3 times a week. It just depends on whatever fits in your schedule. That's the really cool thing about intermittent fasting or IF. You do it to where it fits your schedule and your lifestyle. Personally, I do intermittent fasting 7 days a week. I do it every single day. I do it every single day because it's a habit for me and I love the way that it makes me feel. So I do it 7 days a week. Now, do my times look the same every single day? No, because I have to adjust my times based upon what is going on that day. Maybe I have a lunch date with a friend. Maybe I'm at a family function and we're eating something at noon and I'm not really supposed to eat until 2 or 3. So I adjust my schedule and my fasting schedule based upon what my day looks like. So intermittent fasting can be done 7 days a week. It can be done 2 days a week, whatever fits in your schedule. Okay, so let's talk about what intermittent fasting is not. Number 3, intermittent fasting is not starving yourself. Okay, this is not a deal where you're not eating and you're just starving yourself. And it does sound like I'm starving because I'm not eating part of the day. That's not true. Okay, so when you intermittent fast, you still have to eat to break your fast. Okay, you have to eat. You have to break your fast at some point because after a certain point it gets dangerous and turns into starvation mode, and we don't want that. Okay, so intermittent fasting is not starving yourself, and we're going to talk a little bit later in the video about how that part doesn't happen or how how you get your calories in. Okay, so that is number 3. What intermittent fasting is not starving yourself. Okay, so what does fasting look like on a daily basis? Number 4, what does it look like? It depends. That's a really good question because it's tailored to whatever your schedule is and whatever that looks like for you. So for me, my daily schedule, I stop eating a little bit later because I have kids, and after they go to bed, I like to enjoy a little snack that I don't have to share with them, like I can eat for myself. So for me, I stop eating around maybe 11 p.m. and then I fast until 7 p.m. the next day. Now, for some people, that is a little difficult because the fast happens overnight and for the majority of the next day. For me, it's become so much of a habit that I don't really think about it, if that makes sense. I know when you first start, you're like, how do you not think about food? I go through my day and I don't really think about it. Now, when it's time for me to break my fast, I'm ready to break my fast. I'm ready to eat, but I'm not sitting there like, oh, I'm starving all day. But it may look a little bit different from you for you. Maybe you go to bed early. You stop fasting at 6 p.m. and you would break your fast, at 10 a.m. the next morning or 12 a.m. the next morning. Or 12 p.m. the next day. It just depends on what works for you. So don't follow somebody else's fasting schedule. Find a time block in the day that fits in your schedule. If you have a family function or something else going on, figure that out, work it out ahead of time. Say, okay, I'm going to change my fasting times, or I'm going to break my fast a little bit earlier today so that I can participate, because what you don't want is you don't want your intermittent fasting to interfere with your life so much that you feel like you're being left out of certain things or you're excluding yourself from certain things. You want it to fit into whatever your daily schedule is. Okay. So, I also do something called a dry fast. So that means that I usually, now if I get thirsty, I will, but usually I don't drink anything. Some people fast and they drink like black coffee, or they drink tea, green tea, or they drink water. Water, as far as I know, is the only liquid that you can drink that has absolutely no calories, that will not break your fasted state. Everything else does have a little bit of something in it and it will break your fasted state, but not enough to make a huge difference. But I am a strict IFer. I do dry fasting usually during the day. So dry fasting is I don't eat, I don't drink anything, water included. And I know that goes against the holy grail of things, but trust me, I make it up in the evenings because I drink water like they're about to stop. It's about to stop flowing freely. But so you want to make sure that you decide what kind of fasting you're going to do if you want to try it. So I do a dry fast where I don't eat or drink anything for about 18 to 20 hours daily. On the weekends, I fast from about 16 to 18 hours. I scale it back on the weekends just because we have a little bit more lax going on the weekends. Okay. So number 5, breaking your fast. This is very, very important. And honestly, I've been intermittent fasting for some years now. And so for me, breaking the fast is something that I just learned. Breaking the fast is just as important as fasting. It's just as important. So what do you break your fast with? Let me break it down like this. So when you are doing your intermittent fasting, what it does is it brings your insulin levels down. Okay, brings your insulin levels down to about right here. So when you eat, your insulin level spikes up. Okay, you want it to spike a little or gradually. You don't want to do this. You don't want your fasting to look like this. You don't want it to be doop and then you eat a donut and you go phew. Like, you don't want your insulin levels to spike really fast and really quickly. So what I always do is I always break my fast with one thing. I found this online, and I will link you to Dr. Berg, but I do Dr. Berg's, sorry, it's all out of the camera. I do Dr. Berg's raw wheatgrass juice powder. And this stuff is great. It's got a little bit of stevia in it, so I think it has like 1 gram of sugar, and it's 8 calories per scoop. And I take about 2 scoops, so I'm consuming about 16 calories, 2 grams of sugar when I first break my fast. And I let that soak in for about 20 minutes. I let my system work with that for 20 minutes. I love it because it makes me feel energized. It gives me a quick boost of energy. It's refreshing. I love it. I look forward to having that drink every day. So I just mix it with a little bit of water. And if you want more information, I will post that in a link below so that Dr. Berg can give you all of the scientific information about it. It's awesome. So after I drink that, and about 20-30 minutes later, I do then have a salad. And so I break my salad with some super greens. Now, these are just from Sprouts. They're organic, just super greens. You could really break your fast with a lot of different things. I break my fast with greens, and I put avocado and bacon, maybe some bacon in there, 1 slice of bacon, and I chop it up into pieces. And it gives me some healthy fats, and it also gives me, not that bacon's super healthy, but it's a more natural fat. But I put that in there with avocado, and I put like lime juice and vinegar and a little bit of olive oil on it, again, to add to those healthy fats. And I consume that salad because that is something that is, number one, great for my body. Number two, my body is in a high absorption rate because I've just come off of a fasted state. And number three, it will not spike my insulin levels super high. So I start here and then I gradually go up because I do have another meal later that may include some carbs in there. I do part keto, I'm not a keto person, but for me and my body type, I have to keep my carb macros lower than everything else. So I do start working some carbs in after my salad on my first meal. Proteins, I try to get a good balance of protein and carbs and healthy fats when I break my fast with the second meal, okay? So that is something that you want to make sure that you do. So as soon as you break your fast, do not let your insulin levels spike and go super high, super crazy, because you don't want to basically digress on all the benefits you've done with fasting. Okay, so the next thing is, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my little list. I'm like, I want to make sure that I get everything into you guys. Okay, so you also want to keep track of how many calories you're eating because you want to make sure that you're eating enough calories. Make sure you're eating enough calories and make sure you're eating enough calories. A lot of times with fasting, people think, oh, I'm just going to fast. I'm going to have this salad and be done. No, if you are fasting, you need to be eating the amount of calories that your body needs every single day. Depending on if you're working out or not, that can be anywhere from 1,200 to 2,500 calories a day. So the tricky thing about fasting is you have a short window of time to get all those calories in. So you're eating quite a lot, and they have to be nutrient dense calories. You do not want to intake a whole, what do you call it, like a burger, french fries, milkshake. Those are not the kind of calories we're looking for, okay? We're looking for nutrient dense calories. You want healthy fats, healthy carbs, healthy proteins, lean proteins, or proteins with healthy fat on them. You want to eat that kind of stuff. Nuts, berries, depending on what you are looking at as far as sugar intake, or you might want to keep the sugars, keep the fruits low. If you're not worried about that, eat your sugar. It just depends on what works for you and your schedule. You want to intake your water, okay? Make sure you're getting enough water. When I break my fast, I literally drink water like it's about to stop flowing. I probably intake about 6 to 8 glasses of water in about an hour or two, maybe close to a gallon in an hour or two. So for me, I'm just thirsty at that point because, again, I've been through the day without drinking. So make sure you're just getting all of your water and your calories in. Really important, because you don't want your body to not be getting what it needs. And that's when you start seeing adverse effects. So make sure you're getting what you need on that front. Okay, so let's talk about some of the results that I've seen fasting. I skipped that. Number 5, we were talking about breaking your fast. Number 6, let's talk about some results that people are getting through fasting. Fasting has a numerous amount of benefits, okay? I am going to, and I have a hard time sometimes verbalizing all of these benefits because there's so many. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide a link below this video so that you guys can see what kind of benefits that intermittent fasting provides for you. And I got this information from Dr. Berg, and he breaks it down so well. I love his videos because he breaks everything down to just really simplistic where you can understand everything. So I'm going to put a link below so that you guys can see what kind of amazing benefits it really does have. For me, I have had really good results fasting, and also making sure that I work out in a fasted state. Now, do I recommend this for everybody? Absolutely not. I've met people who are just fine working out in a fasted state, and I've met people who struggle when they work out in a fasted state. It really just depends on you and what your body can handle and what your body likes. So if it doesn't work out for you that way, that's fine. Me, fortunately, I'm one person who can. So basically, think of your body having these little glycogen stores, and when you eat, all these glycogen stores fill up like that. They have all this food in them. Okay, when you fast, the glycogen stores kind of empty out, and then you have this empty thing right there. And so there is no anything for your body to burn when you work out in a fasted state, but fat. It uses fat as an energy source. So I'm going to suggest that if you can, try to work out in a fasted state. Now, if you want to try like 5-10 minutes, see how you feel, increase it from there, I would suggest that. I wouldn't just go balls to the wall, the first time you do it. Definitely, try it in a little bit of time. So I'm going to post some results that I've gotten just by doing IF, by eating healthy and working out in a fasted state. I've gotten some incredible results in about 4 months. So I'm going to post a picture in here as I'm talking so that you can see that. And the last point I want to make is just give yourself a chance with IF. When you start it, if you want to start it, number one, check with a healthcare professional. Make sure that it is something that your body can acclimate to, that it works for you. And also start slow. Don't just go, I'm going to do 20-hour fast. No, I did not start out doing a 20-hour fast. I started doing a 12-hour fast, and I thought I was going to die. I was like, oh my God, I was so hungry. Like, I would be looking at the clock, waiting for it to move so that I could eat. So hungry. So my suggestion to you is increase that time little by little. Start with 12 hours, move to 14 hours, move to 16 hours. Just slowly increase that time. Now I can do 20 to 24 hours, really with little to no problem. So if you IF, or if you have tried it before, let me know what your experiences are. Let me know what your results have been. I'd be very interested to know. Let me know what your schedule looks like. What works for you on a daily basis? How often do you fast? Do you dry fast? Do you do tea? Do you do black coffee? What kind of fast do you do? And if you've never tried it before and you have any questions, you can comment below and ask me the questions. And I will also put a link to Dr. Berg's YouTube videos because, like I said, he's amazing with IF and he could probably answer everything that I have, every question that you have 20 million times better than I could. So it's been great. I'm so glad that you guys tuned in. I'm sorry this was a little long, but I just wanted to give you what you needed. Again, reach out if you have any questions. Like, subscribe, follow me. I have some more videos to show you, and I'm pretty sure you'll be interested to know what I have to share. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.